First contact and deception. The quantum sensors aboard Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station Omega picked up the anomaly at exactly 3:47 a.m. UTC. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her holographic display, coffee forgotten in her hand, as the readings defied everything she knew about natural space phenomena. The signal patterns were too precise, too structured to be anything but artificial. "Director Hayes, you need to see this," she called out, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. The station's director hurried over, his weathered face illuminated by the pulsing blue light of the quantum display. The signal wasn't just artificial. It was approaching Earth at speeds that made humanity's fastest ships look like children's toys. Within hours, every major observatory and monitoring station on the planet confirmed the same thing. First contact was imminent. The Amaranth Empire's first transmission reached Earth 12 hours later. Their ships appeared in high orbit, a fleet of vessels that gleamed like polished obsidian in the sunlight. Their message was simple and seemingly peaceful. "Greetings, children of Earth. We come as friends, bearing the gifts of advanced civilization." Admiral James Rodriguez, commander of Earth's Combined Defense Force, watched the transmission from the underground command center beneath the Rockies. His dark eyes narrowed as the alien ambassador, who called himself High Emissary Vexthor, spoke of peace and cultural exchange. 20 years in military intelligence had taught him to trust his instincts, and right now, every one of them was screaming danger. "Run it through the quantum consciousness analyzer again," he ordered. The QCA was humanity's best-kept secret. Artificial intelligence married to quantum computing, capable of detecting subtle variations in alien communications that might reveal true intent. Dr. Elena Petrov, the lead developer of the QCA, worked her console with practiced efficiency. "Already on it, Admiral. Something about their neural patterns doesn't match their words. There's a dissonance." The Amaranth ships maintained their position, a perfect geometric formation that spoke of military precision rather than peaceful intent. Their technology was impressive. Energy readings suggested power generation capabilities far beyond anything humanity had publicly demonstrated. Publicly being the key word. In the weeks that followed, Earth's governments presented a carefully orchestrated show of wide-eyed gratitude and technological inferiority. The Amaranth Empire's representatives were welcomed with elaborate ceremonies, while behind the scenes, humanity's most advanced systems worked to decrypt their true intentions. The breakthrough came during a diplomatic reception in Geneva. The QCA detected a spike in neural patterns when Ambassador Chen casually mentioned Earth's primitive fusion technology. The alien delegates' responses revealed microscopic fluctuations that the QCA translated into clear intent. "Conquest. They think we're defenseless," Admiral Rodriguez said during the emergency council meeting. The holographic displays showed the Amaranth fleet's positions, their numbers growing daily under the guise of cultural exchange. Their transmissions suggest they're following a standard conquest protocol: gain trust, establish presence, then strike when the population is unprepared. President Sarah Mbeki of the African Union leaned forward, her face illuminated by the tactical displays. "But we are not unprepared, are we, Admiral?" "No, Madam President. For the past 50 years, we've been preparing for exactly this scenario." He gestured, and new holographic images appeared. Earth's true defensive capabilities, hidden in plain sight. Quantum shielding generators disguised as communication towers. Gravity manipulation weapons concealed within civilian satellites. And most importantly, the neural network defense grid, a planetary web of artificial intelligence and human consciousness working in perfect harmony. They expect to find a primitive species barely capable of spaceflight, Dr. Petrov added, her fingers dancing across her quantum interface. Instead, they'll find something unprecedented in their experience, a humanity that has evolved beyond their understanding of technology. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had one advantage the Amaranth Empire couldn't possibly expect: the element of surprise. While the aliens saw what they expected to see, a young species taking its first steps into space, Earth's true capabilities remained hidden, waiting for the moment to reveal themselves. Admiral Rodriguez looked at each council member in turn. "We continue to play our role. Let them think their deception is working. But when they make their move," he paused, allowing himself a grim smile, "they'll learn that humanity's greatest strength isn't in our weapons or our technology. It's in our ability to surprise those who underestimate us." As the council session ended, Dr. Chen's quantum sensors detected new anomalies. The Amaranth fleet was subtly repositioning, their movements almost imperceptible to conventional tracking systems. The countdown to confrontation had begun. But this time, Earth would not be the victim of an alien invasion. This time, humanity would show the galaxy that appearances could be deceiving. The stage was set for a revelation that would change the balance of power in ways the Amaranth Empire could never have anticipated. The real question was no longer if they would attack, but when. And when they did, they would learn a harsh lesson about underestimating a species that had spent its entire history preparing for this very moment. The silent preparation. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown to even most world governments, Project Oracle hummed with activity. Commander Maya Patel stood before a vast holographic display showing real-time movements of the Amaranth fleet. 3 months had passed since first contact, and every day brought them closer to the inevitable confrontation. "Show me the latest simulation results," she ordered. The AI system responded instantly, projecting a complex web of possible battle scenarios. Each simulation incorporated data gathered from countless hours of observing the Amaranth ships, analyzing their movements, and decoding their communications. "Their tactical patterns are becoming clearer," reported Lieutenant David Nash, head of behavioral analysis. "They favor overwhelming force, relying on their technological superiority. But there's a pattern to their movements, almost ritualistic. They've never faced an opponent who could match them, so they've become predictable." The facility's quantum computers process terabytes of data per second, building an ever more detailed picture of Amaranth capabilities. But humanity's true advantage lay not in raw computing power, but in imagination. While the aliens saw only diplomatic meetings and cultural exchanges, Earth's defense forces were revolutionizing warfare. In orbital shipyards disguised as communication satellites, humanity's real fleet took shape. Unlike the bulky, overtly militant designs of the Amaranth ships, Earth's vessels were elegant and deceptive. Quantum phase technology allowed them to appear as nothing more than orbital debris to conventional sensors, while their true capabilities remained hidden. Dr. Marcus Wong, chief architect of the Phantom Fleet project, supervised the final integration of the neural interface systems. "The key isn't just having advanced technology," he explained to Commander Paddle during their daily briefing. "It's having technology they can't anticipate. Our ships aren't just machines, they're extensions of human consciousness." Each vessel in Earth's defense fleet was piloted by a synchronized team of human operators and artificial intelligence, linked through the neural network defense grid. This unprecedented fusion of human intuition and machine precision created something entirely new, a fighting force that could think and adapt in ways the rigid hierarchy of the Amaranth Empire could never match. In training facilities scattered across the globe, pilots and AI systems practiced together in virtual combat scenarios. The simulations became increasingly complex as more data about Amaranth tactics was incorporated. But the human element remained crucial, the unpredictability and creativity that had defined Earth's military history for millennia. "They expect us to either cower or fight conventionally," Admiral Rodriguez's hologram explained during a secure briefing. "Their entire conquest strategy is based on technological superiority. But they've never encountered a species that turned their own assumptions into a weapon." The Amaranth Empire's representatives continued their diplomatic mission, unaware that every handshake, every cultural exchange, every technological demonstration was being analyzed and countered. Their carefully measured displays of advanced technology were met with appropriate awe, while Earth's true capabilities remained carefully hidden beneath a veneer of primitive wonder. In the Kuiper Belt, automated mining operations, officially simple resource extraction projects, were actually producing advanced quantum phase materials for Earth's true defense systems. The Amaranth observers saw only primitive mining robots, their sensors unable to penetrate the sophisticated cloaking technologies that hid the true scale of human operations. As the days passed, tension mounted among Earth's defense forces. The quantum consciousness analyzer detected increasing aggression patterns in Amaranth communications. Their fleet movements, though subtle, suggested they were moving into pre-combat formations. Time estimate. Commander Patel asked during the daily security briefing. Dr. Elena Petrov consulted her quantum interface. Based on their behavioral patterns and fleet movements, we project they'll launch their attack within the next 72 hours. Their confidence levels are peaking. They believe they've seen everything we're capable of. Commander Patel allowed herself a small smile. Then we maintain course. All defense grid components are in position. Yes, Commander. The neural network is fully operational. The Phantom fleet is ready for immediate deployment, and our quantum shield generators can be activated within seconds of detecting hostile action. Throughout the solar system, humanity's true defensive capabilities lay waiting. Each piece of the puzzle was in place, every system tested and ready. The Amaranth Empire thought they were preparing to conquer a primitive species taking its first steps into space. Instead, they were about to encounter something unprecedented in their history of conquest, a humanity that had turned deception itself into an art form. As the hour of confrontation approached, Earth's defenders maintained their facade of ignorance and technological inferiority. But beneath the surface, in hidden facilities and cloaked orbital platforms, humanity's combined military forces waited with quiet confidence. They had spent months preparing for this moment. And when it came, the galaxy would learn that appearances could be the greatest deception of all, turning the tides. The attack began exactly as Earth's defense analysts had predicted. At 300 UTC, the Amaranth fleet's energy signatures suddenly spiked. Their ships, previously arranged in diplomatic formation, shifted into an attack pattern with practiced precision. High Emissary Vexthor's transmission was brief and confident. Primitive children of Earth, submit to the glory of the Amaranth Empire. Your resistance would be futile and wasteful. Surrender now, and your transition to imperial rule will be merciful. In the Project Oracle Command Center, Commander Maya Patel stood calmly as the massive holographic display showed hundreds of Amaranth warships moving into position. Around her, the command staff maintained their practiced composure. Months of preparation had readied them for this moment. They're deploying exactly as the simulations predicted, Lieutenant Nash reported, his hands dancing across the quantum interface. Standard Imperial conquest formation, designed to overwhelm primitive planetary defenses. Commander Patel allowed herself a small smile. Then let's show them how primitive we really are. Initiate Protocol Lazarus. Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden defenses awakened. The neural network defense grid hummed to life, its quantum-entangled nodes connecting human consciousness and artificial intelligence into a seamless whole. In orbit, what appeared to be debris and inactive satellites suddenly shimmered as their quantum phase cloaking deactivated, revealing Earth's true fleet. The Amaranth ships launched their first salvo, a devastating barrage of energy weapons designed to overwhelm planetary shields and disable surface defenses. But instead of impacting Earth's atmosphere, the attack encountered something unexpected. A quantum shield matrix that didn't just block their weapons, but absorbed and redirected their energy. Impossible. Vexthor's voice crackled across the command channel. Their technology. They couldn't have. Actually, Emissary, Admiral Rodriguez's voice cut through the channel, calm and measured. We could, and we do. Earth Defense Force, execute Operation Prometheus. The Phantom fleet sprang into action. Unlike the rigid, hierarchical formations of the Amaranth Armada, Earth's ships moved with organic fluidity. Each vessel was a perfect fusion of human intuition and AI precision, their neural-linked pilots anticipating and reacting to Amaranth tactics before they fully developed. First Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor, commanding the EDF Hyperion, led the initial counterattack. Her consciousness merged with her ship's AI, moving through space with impossible grace. Squad Alpha, execute pattern Delta 7, she commanded, her thoughts translating instantly into coordinated action. The Amaranth fleet's formation began to break apart as Earth's ships struck from multiple vectors, using attack patterns that defied conventional space combat doctrine. Quantum phase technology allowed Earth's vessels to shift partially out of normal space, becoming ghostly apparitions that Amaranth weapons couldn't track. Their ships, an Amaranth commander broadcast in disbelief, they're not following any known combat protocols. The humans, they're fighting like no species we've ever encountered. In the Project Oracle Command Center, Dr. Elena Petrov monitored the quantum consciousness analyzer's readings. Their neural patterns are showing increasing signs of confusion and fear, she reported. They can't comprehend how we've hidden this level of technology from them. The battle spread across the solar system as Earth's forces pushed the advantage of surprise. The Amaranth Empire had expected to find a primitive civilization cowering behind basic defenses. Instead, they faced an opponent who had turned their own assumptions into a weapon. Commander Patel watched as the tactical display showed Amaranth ships attempting to regroup. They're trying to fall back to their secondary attack positions, she observed. Exactly as predicted. Dr. Wong, activate the gravity manipulation grid. Throughout the solar system, hidden platforms came online, creating localized distortions in spacetime. Amaranth ships found their carefully planned escape routes disrupted, their formations further scattered by gravitational forces they couldn't have anticipated. This is impossible. Vexthor's voice had lost its imperial confidence. You were primitive. We monitored your development for years. You saw what we wanted you to see, Admiral Rodriguez replied. Humanity learned long ago that survival sometimes depends on being underestimated. We knew you were coming, not just you specifically, but someone like you. We've been preparing for this moment for generations. The battle continued to unfold, but its outcome was already becoming clear. The Amaranth fleet, despite its superior numbers and conventional firepower, found itself outmaneuvered at every turn. Earth's defenders didn't just fight with advanced technology. They fought with creativity and adaptability that the rigid imperial doctrine couldn't match. Lieutenant Nash's voice cut through the command center's focused atmosphere. Commander, we're detecting power fluctuations in their flagship. They're preparing for something unusual. Commander Patel's eyes narrowed as she studied the tactical display. The Amaranth Empire wasn't known for accepting defeat gracefully. As their carefully laid plans crumbled around them, there was no telling what desperate measures they might attempt. All units, maintain combat readiness, she ordered. This battle isn't over yet. The Empire is about to show us what they do when their assumptions about their own superiority are shattered. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as humanity's defenders prepared for the Empire's next move. The galaxy was about to learn that technological advancement wasn't just about power, it was about how you used it. And humanity had just revealed itself as a master of both innovation and deception. The counterstrike. The massive holographic display in Project Oracle's command center painted a stark picture of the battle's aftermath. Disabled Amaranth vessels drifted in carefully controlled orbits, their once proud formations now scattered across Earth's solar system. But High Emissary Vexthor's desperate final gambit had changed everything. In the hours before his flagship's quantum core detonation, a last-ditch attempt to take as many human ships with him as possible, Vexthor had managed to transmit a distress signal to the heart of Amaranth space. The quantum consciousness analyzer had decoded its contents. Earth wasn't primitive. Earth was dangerous. Earth needed to be eliminated. Admiral Rodriguez stood before the Emergency Defense Council, his expression grave. The Empire won't take this defeat lightly. Our intel suggests they're mobilizing their main battle fleet. We have perhaps 2 weeks before they arrive in force. And this time, they won't underestimate us. President Mbeki leaned forward in her chair. Then perhaps it's time we showed them why that's a mistake. Commander Patel, present your proposal. Commander Patel stepped forward, activating a new holographic display. Operation Stellar Wind, she began. While the Empire marshals their conventional forces for a direct assault, we strike at their heart using everything they don't expect us to have. The display showed a series of quantum tunneling corridors, pathways through space-time that humanity had mapped but kept hidden from Amaranth observers. Dr. Wum's voice joined in via quantum link from the Phantom Fleet's primary dock. Our ships aren't just capable of quantum phase shifting in combat. They can traverse these corridors, allowing us to bypass the Empire's conventional defenses entirely. Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor, her neural link still active from the bridge of the Hyperion, added her perspective. The Amaranth Empire's entire military doctrine is based on overwhelming force and technological superiority. They've never developed countermeasures for an enemy that could match or exceed their capabilities. Their internal defenses are designed to repel attacks from the outside in. But we're not going to attack from the outside, Commander Patel continued. We're going to strike from within, using their own territory against them. Dr. Petrov, show them what we learned from the captured ships. The holographic display shifted, showing the internal structure of Amaranth society. Dr. Petrov's analysis highlighted critical vulnerabilities, not in their military infrastructure, but in their cultural assumptions. The Empire's strength is also its weakness. Their rigid hierarchy and belief in their own superiority means they've never had to defend against an enemy that could think like we do. The plan was audacious. While the Empire's main fleet approached Earth, expecting to find a defensive battle, humanity would launch a series of precise strikes at key points throughout Amaranth space. The targets weren't military installations. They were cultural centers, seats of government, and symbolic locations that held the Empire's rigid society together. We don't need to defeat their entire military, Admiral Rodriguez explained. We just need to show them that their way of life, their entire philosophy of conquest, is vulnerable. And we need to do it before their main fleet reaches Earth. The Phantom Fleet, now expanded with captured and converted Amaranth vessels, split into strike teams. Each group was assigned a specific target, their neural-linked crews working in perfect harmony with their ship's AI systems. The quantum tunneling corridors would allow them to appear seemingly simultaneously across Amaranth space, creating chaos and confusion throughout the Empire. Lieutenant Nash's behavioral analysis painted a clear picture of the expected response. The Empire's military command structure is hierarchical and inflexible. When faced with multiple simultaneous threats inside their own territory, their response times will be dramatically slowed by the need to seek authorization from higher authorities. Commander Patel stood before the assembled strike team leaders, their images projected via quantum link from ships across the solar system. This isn't just about winning a battle, she declared. This is about changing the way the galaxy thinks about humanity. The Empire sees us as upstart primitives who got lucky. We're going to show them that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to think differently. The strike teams launched in perfect synchronization, their ships slipping into quantum tunnels like ghosts passing through walls. The neural network defense grid extended its reach through the corridors, maintaining instantaneous communication and coordination across impossible distances. First Lieutenant O'Connor led her team toward the Empire's ceremonial capital, their ships phase shifting through the supposedly impenetrable outer defenses. Remember, she transmitted to her squad, precision over power. We're not here to destroy. We're here to demonstrate. Across Amaranth space, humanity's forces emerged simultaneously, striking at the foundations of imperial power. Government centers found their quantum communications grids redirected, broadcasting proof of the Empire's vulnerabilities to its own citizens. Military command posts discovered their control systems speaking in human voices, demonstrating how completely their security had been compromised. In the Project Oracle Command Center, Commander Patel watched the operation unfold. The quantum consciousness analyzer showed waves of confusion and disbelief spreading through the imperial hierarchy. The Empire wasn't just being defeated militarily, its entire worldview was being systematically dismantled. "Their main fleet has altered course," Lieutenant Nash reported, a note of satisfaction in his voice. "They're breaking off their approach to Earth. Multiple quantum communication bursts detected. They're calling for reinforcements." "Let them," Admiral Rodriguez replied. "Every ship they redirect to defend their core systems is one less ship heading toward Earth, and by the time they realize what we're really doing, it will be too late to stop it." The counter-strike had begun, and with it, humanity's message to the galaxy was clear: underestimate us at your peril. The age of imperial conquest was about to meet something it had never encountered before, a species that had turned adaptation and innovation into an art form. A new dawn. The Grand Chamber of the Amaranth Imperial Palace had never hosted anything like this before. Where once only the Empire's elite had walked, now stood representatives from Earth, their presence a testament to how completely the galaxy's power structure had shifted in just a few weeks. Admiral Rodriguez and Commander Patel stood before the Imperial Council, their posture relaxed but alert. The neural network defense grid maintained its invisible presence, analyzing every subtle reaction from the assembled Amaranth leaders. The once mighty counselors now faced a reality they had never imagined possible. Supreme Chancellor Kovacs, who had replaced the hardline imperial leadership, addressed the chamber. "In 10,000 years of Amaranth history, we have never encountered a species like humanity. You didn't just defeat our military. You forced us to question everything we believed about civilization and progress." The holographic displays showed the aftermath of Operation Stellar Wind. Throughout Amaranth space, the rigid hierarchies of imperial power had crumbled not through destruction, but through revelation. Humanity's precise strikes had exposed the Empire's vulnerabilities to its own people, sparking a transformation that no amount of military might could have achieved. Dr. Elena Petrov's quantum consciousness analyzer painted a fascinating picture of the changes rippling through Amaranth society. "Their neural patterns show a fundamental shift," she reported via quantum link. "The concept of superiority through conquest is being replaced by something new: curiosity about different ways of thinking." Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor, now promoted to captain, stood with her neural-linked crew as her ship, the Hyperion, maintained its station above the imperial capital. The Phantom Fleet had proven that technology alone didn't determine the outcome of conflicts. It was how you used it that mattered. "We offer something unprecedented in the history of the Empire," Commander Patel addressed the Council. "Not submission, not dominance, but genuine partnership. Humanity has demonstrated that different approaches to progress are not just possible, but necessary for true advancement." The proposal before the Council was radical: a complete restructuring of galactic relations. The Amaranth Empire would transition from a conquest-based hierarchy to a cooperative alliance, with Earth as an equal partner. Human innovation and adaptability would combine with Amaranth experience and resources to create something entirely new. "Your species," Chancellor Kovacs observed, "hid its true capabilities not out of fear, but out of wisdom. You could have revealed your power at any time, yet you chose to understand us first. This is not how conquest is supposed to work." Admiral Rodriguez allowed himself a small smile. "That's precisely the point, Chancellor. Humanity's history taught us that true strength isn't about dominating others. It's about knowing when to hold back, when to reveal, and when to transform conflict into cooperation." Dr. Marcus Wong, speaking from Earth via quantum link, presented the technical aspects of the proposed alliance. Human quantum phase technology would be shared, along with the principles of neural-linked systems. In return, the Amaranth would contribute their vast knowledge of galactic civilization and their established infrastructure. But more importantly, Commander Patel added, "We'll share our different ways of thinking." The Empire's strength was in its order and stability. Earth's strength is in our adaptability and innovation. Together, we can create something greater than either of us could achieve alone. Throughout the chamber, quantum interfaces displayed the potential of this cooperation. Simulations showed new types of ships combining human creativity with amaranth engineering. Research projects would merge Earth's quantum consciousness technology with the Empire's vast understanding of cosmic phenomena. Lieutenant Nash's behavioral analysis showed spreading ripples of acceptance through the Imperial hierarchy. "They're not just agreeing to these terms," he reported. "They're genuinely excited about the possibilities." The Empire's younger generation especially is embracing the idea of change. The formal signing of the Earth-Amaranth Cooperative Treaty marked more than just the end of hostilities. It represented a fundamental shift in how civilizations could interact. The galaxy was watching, and the message was clear. The age of imperial conquest was over. A new era of collaborative advancement had begun. Back on Earth, President Mbeki addressed the united human population. "We prepared for war," she declared, "but we achieved something far greater. We created an opportunity for genuine transformation. Humanity's first steps into the galactic community will not be marked by conquest or submission, but by innovation and cooperation." The Phantom Fleet, once humanity's hidden defenders, transformed into the vanguard of this new alliance. Their neural-linked crews, both human and now amaranth, explored the frontiers of space together. The quantum tunneling corridors, once used for strategic strikes, became highways of cultural and scientific exchange. Commander Paddle stood at her station in Project Oracle, watching the quantum consciousness analyzer track the spreading changes throughout galactic society. Other civilizations, inspired by this unprecedented transformation, began reaching out to both Earth and the former Empire, seeking to understand and participate in this new form of interaction. "We showed them a different way," she remarked to Admiral Rodriguez. "Not just of fighting, but of existing. That was the real victory." The Admiral nodded, watching the holographic display show ships of both civilizations working together to establish new quantum communication networks. "The best victories," he replied, "are the ones that make future victories unnecessary." As Earth's sun set on this new era, humanity had achieved something unprecedented. They had turned an invasion into an opportunity, a potential conquest into a partnership, and in doing so, had changed not just their own future, but the future of galactic civilization itself. The stars no longer represented a frontier to be conquered, but a vast expanse of possibilities to be explored together. Humanity's response to the Amaranth Empire had done more than shock them. It had transformed them, and in doing so, had set a new course for the future of all species in the galaxy.